implement immediately? Show of hands, who wants to learn some stuff? Well, good. Again, everybody. I like to think of myself as a teacher and basically the stuff guy. I want to give you lots of stuff. We're going to pack the next 22 minutes or so with lots of information. So please pick up your hands, if that makes sense, or hold up your hands. You can't pick them up. They wouldn't be attached. Pick up your hands, hold up your hands, pick up your pens, and shake your hand out because you're going to be doing lots and lots of writing, lots of notes to keep up. All right? So let's begin the program. We're going to be talking about an interesting topic here. I am on page 17 of the workbook, just so you know. And I have a very interesting question for you, if I may, and please don't be offended, but have you been looking at your customers' butts recently? Whoops. Uh-oh, there goes the whole show. Sorry, Bill. Yeah, what did he say? Roland, what did he say? Have you been looking at your customers' butts recently? Some of you go, yeah, they got great butts. What I'm trying to say is I would buy Roland, but I need to think about it. Oh, I would buy, but I don't know about your financing. I would buy, but I haven't seen the models yet. So what I'm saying is when you hear the word but, it means there's an objection coming. Does that make sense? So we want to like butts. My theme song should be, and I can't sing, so I won't, but I like big butts. Truly I do, I don't lie. I like big butts. Because when I hear a but, I know I'm getting an objection, and objections are what? Buying signals. Correct? Objections are buying signals. So we're going to talk about butts, nice big butts, and how we handle them throughout this next session. All right, let's get started. Number one, on our notebook here, it says 5 rules for managing objections. The first rule, perception is reality. In other words, and by the way, this is a magic wand. It's impressive, isn't it? People like my wand. It's an impressive wand, if I may say so. What we try and do as salespeople sometimes is change the reality. And we can't. The customer may say things like, the room is too small. Can we wave our magic wand and make the room bigger? No. We have to explain the benefits of why maybe that's a great size room, because our research has shown that our customers prefer their space dedicated to the living areas. And so therefore, our research has shown that these are the perfect size rooms. How does that work for you? How does that make you feel? We don't just change the size of things. We can't just wave our magic wand and make things better. So we don't change the reality. What do we change? Their perception. So unfortunately, I do love this one. I'm very attached to it. Imagine if we could really do that. Just flash. So I have to get rid of it, though. It pains me to do so, but let's say goodbye. I could break something. Let's say goodbye to the chopped liver and the magic wand. Uh-oh. All right, so that's number one. Most objections are either value or lifestyle challenges. In your workbook, you have some spaces. Most objections are either value or lifestyle challenges. The people, your customers, don't understand the value. We haven't built the value yet. So we have to make sure we explain it, explain why we're different. Most of us aren't the least expensive builders in our marketplace. Why? Because we include more value. If they don't understand that from the very beginning, you're going to look expensive. So you have to explain the value. You can do that with props and tools and explain why you're the different quality builder in your market. So you include more value. Or the lifestyle. Maybe you're a little bit more expensive because you have a clubhouse. You have amenities that cost something that they would greatly enjoy. So if you don't explain that, they won't understand it. So don't be defensive when you get an objection. Understand they're either a value or a lifestyle challenge. C, the minority. And please circle the word minority. The minority of objections are real issues. Every now and again, we do get a real issue. As you go through this program, as you study sales training, as you go out there in the models, you're going to realize it's fewer and fewer are actually real objections. But a real objection may be a customer came in, they have their children in a certain grade level at school, and they really don't want to move, and they really mean it. So if you think you have a real objection, just ask this question. Is that critical to you? If they give you an objection that you suspect might be a real issue, and we could go through 100 objections that are not real issues. No steps, don't like basements, those are not real issues. But things like being in the wrong school district, maybe, those kinds of things. So just say, is that critical or is that vital to you? And if they say no, move on. You don't have to go back to it. They were just expressing themselves, which is a good thing. We don't want to close them down too early. D, never answer an objection before it's time. All right? Never answer it before it's time. Is there a better place and time to answer an objection? Absolutely. Usually when you have a prop that you can show them that would answer their objection, something that would be less confusing. So if they have an objection about something that's in the model, just as Jim was saying, take them into the model. Don't say, this is the kitchen, as Jim said. They probably understood that. The clue was the range or the bathroom. We sort of figured that round thing that flushes, that may have been the toilet. They knew that, but maybe there's an objection that you can handle in there. And you'll say, I can't wait to show you that in the model. Is that okay? So table it until you can answer it more effectively. An objection that I got all the time, which I don't think is an objection, something that I think they go to buyer's school. Do you agree, by the way, that your customers go to buyer's school? Show of hands. They just say the same things. After you've been in this business more than about a week, you can't believe they just say the same things. And quite frequently, when they walk into a gorgeous furnished model, a vulgar display of money, as we like to say, they say, wow, how much is the model? Do they really mean it, though? Not really. Do they really want to replicate that model, do you think? How could they? No, thank you very much. How could they? They haven't seen it yet. They just walked in. Wow, how much is this one? Well, how do you know exactly? So don't fall into that trap. Because if you were to give them the real price, what could they say? You're crazy. That's so expensive. Remember, there's a gentleman here that I work with in Orlando, and I used to manage up here, and he's a great, great salesperson. His name is Mike McCrary. Where are you, Mike? I told you I'd be coming for you. Remember years ago there was a lady that wanted to know how much the model was, and the salesperson insisted on getting the information. It took 2 weeks to get the information on how much the model was. The salesperson failed to set the expectation, and the customer went crazy when they found out the price was about $200,000 more than the homes they were interested in, because we hadn't set the expectation. They just go to buyer school and they say this stuff. So my point is this: if you want to answer that objection, here's how to do it. If I can give you just a little script to answer it with, is this. That's a great question. If you want to jot it down, does anybody get that question? Okay, good. That's a great question. It's a little bit complicated. Is that true for some of you? You've got to go back, and it took us 2 weeks because the model was built 2 years prior to that. So that's a great question. It's a little bit complicated. I'd be happy to look it up when we go back to my office. Excuse me. I'd be happy to look it up when we go back to my office. And then semicolon. I don't say semicolon. Semicolon. Meanwhile, let's talk about what you would like in your brand new home. Make it about them. Turn the tables. That's what demonstration, right, Jim, is supposed to be about. It's about the customer. It's not about us and our arbitrary interior designer who did a wonderful job but may have spent $200,000 on a backsplash that they don't want, need, or even know about. So table it and say, that's a great question, a little bit complicated. I'd be happy to answer that when we go back to my office. Meanwhile, let's talk about what you would like in your brand new home. So don't fall into the trap of answering an objection before it's time. Have some patience. Now,